When explosives expert James Sides lost his arm in Afghanistan in 2012, he had never once been on a snowboard, but he knew his surfing days were numbered. Paddling a board with just one arm sounded frustrating, so he took a chance on a snowboard trip with other veterans from Walter Reed Army Medical Center. And like the explosion, it forever changed his life. Now, nearly 5 years after losing his arm, the California native is living and training in Summit County with Adaptive Action Sports, a copper nonprofit founded by Paralympic medalist Amy Purdy. Sides is getting ready for his first shot at Paralympic glory this February when he hopes to compete in adaptive bank slalom and boardercross for Team USA. Before pumping through the banked slalom course at Dew Tour this Friday, December 15th, we talked with Sides to hear about the season so far, his training regimen, and why a blown ACL in the skate park could hardly keep him away from the Paralympics. Phil Lindeman, Krystal 93 News Director, and I'm on the phone with James Sides, a local Paralympic hopeful who has been training at Copper Mountain. James, thanks for making time to talk.
No problem, Phil. Thanks for calling.
Of course. So, how's the season been so far? We finally got some snow out there.
The season has been good. It started early for us. We were in New Zealand back in August.
Okay,
so
great.
That went really well, and then we had 10 days at Copper Mountain before they opened, before we took off to Europe for 3 weeks, and I just got back this past Monday.
Oh, great. So you've been on the snow a ton already, but you're also coming off of ACL surgery, right? When did that happen, and how did that happen?
I am. I was skateboarding in Leadville last August and tore my ACL unknowingly, and then 4 weeks later was getting rehabbed, and they found out that I tore it. So I had surgery in October up in Vail, and then 6 month recovery, and I missed the whole entire last season, but I got 5 days
bummer.
in basin.
Hey, at least you got a few days, right?
I did. I didn't completely miss the whole season.
Oh, bummer. Well, but you're now back. How are you feeling after surgery? Is this your first torn ACL that you've had?
It is. I feel really good. I did everything by the book and rehabbed the right way and took it easy and slow, and then I was just in the gym 3 to 5 days a week all throughout the whole summer, just getting strong and getting my strength back and stability and everything else.
Yeah, that's definitely what it takes, right? I mean, I know myself. I actually blew my knee out last winter as well. So, if you want to get strong, that's what it takes, right? You got to do the work each and every day, almost like you were training, as if you were training anyway.
Yeah, it was. It really didn't. It doesn't stop in the summer, so it wasn't anything new. It was just a little more different focus. Yeah,
exactly. But like you said, you're feeling good, feeling strong. How was the training in Europe? Where were you guys at?
We first went to Landgraaf in the Netherlands at Snow World. It's an indoor ski resort, and we had a couple days there. And then we actually flew to Finland. We had a World Cup in Finland, but we had about 8 or 9 days of on snow gate training and pump track training before the first World Cup even kicked off, and that was crucial. It was really, really good training.
Remind everyone, when it comes to the Paralympics and what you're going to be doing, you are training now for bank slalom, right? What exactly is bank slalom?
We're training for bank slalom and boardercross, but bank slalom is just pretty much what it sounds like. It's a slalom course set up with head high to higher banks.
Great, yeah.
It has a pretty consistent rhythm, and you just got to go as fast as you can.
Yeah, the trick is to, like you said, find those transitions and, be pumping from one thing to the other, getting your speed up the whole way.
Oh, yeah. And that's pretty much why that's why I've been skateboarding. I was actually skateboarding to get better at bank slalom, and then I tore my ACL.
Oh, bummer. It always happens when you're playing around, right?
Fact.
Great. Well, right now, we're about a week away from Dew Tour, and Dew Tour will that be your first or second contest of the season, right?
It'll be our third contest of the season. It's only going to be a NORAM, but it's going to be a bank slalom. It'll be the second year that there's been an adaptive bank slalom course at Dew Tour, so we're stoked.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, right in your backyard. What do you like about being able to compete right here where you live and train, especially now that you've got a little travel under your belt?
Oh, just after traveling, it makes it so much easier. I can just drive to the mountain and set up shop and then go home.
Yeah, right.
The food's good and the people are good, so.
Familiar faces everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And then what comes after Dew Tour? So, obviously the end goal for you is to make the Paralympics. What's it going to take to get there?
So we've got Dew Tour, and then we're pretty much got open a couple, almost 2 months before we had the Big White Canada, I believe, at the end of January. And that's going to be the make it or break it. We're going to have 2 bank slalom World Cups, followed right behind that 2 boardercross World Cups. So it's going to be it's going to be a heavy week.
Yeah, pretty intense week there. But luckily you got a couple weeks off to train and really get your mind in the right spot. Are you going to try to make the team for bank slalom and border cross, or is it kind of a situation where if you make one, you make the other?
That's the plan right now. There's been talks of, I'm not sure, the total numbers I don't think have been figured out yet, but it's either, I think they're shooting for one or the other, but there's only one upper limb guy on the team right now. So it's pretty much probably going to go for both.
Okay, gotcha.
That's my plan.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, and it's always tough to call this far out in the season. Like you said, there's been a bunch of contests already, and then it kind of goes dead for a little while, and then there's one more big do or die contest. How are you dealing with the mental side of things? Knowing that you got some of these big gaps and big breaks coming up.
It was tough in the beginning. New Zealand was a lot of pressure. Just mainly I was more concerned about my knee and how it would hold up. But I did fine. I did really well. And then Finland was another good eye opener. It was our first legit, real border cross course I've been on ever. So it was good to know that I can handle that. So now it's just I'm needing as much time on snow, and I think I kind of switched gears in Finland. I'm out there having fun more now. I'm not going to let the pressure get to me. There's no reason to get amped up. It's too early, and there's no reason to psych myself up just yet.
Yeah, well, and have you found that it's worked? That you've been doing a little bit better when you just kind of get loose with it?
I do better in bank slalom for sure. I just treat it like it's a day in the skate park, honestly. Just go out there and rip a good line and just see what happens. I don't check for times anymore. I don't worry about who's fastest or slowest. I just get out there, do my 2 to 3 runs, and then whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, go and do your thing, and hopefully your thing is a little faster than everyone else.
In fact, yeah.
Well, and final question for you then, James. Let everybody know, how did you get into adaptive snowboarding? How'd you get there?
So I was in the Marine Corps. I was in EOD. I was a bomb squad. I was on a tour in Afghanistan and got injured in July of 2012. And while at Walter Reed in D.C., they do 2 or 3 ski trips a year. It's kind of like therapy through sports recreation. So I came out here to ski spec in 2012, and I'd only snowboarded 3 or 4 times before that, and did really well. I got invited back the next year to take part in the race camp, and then got noticed at race camp by Dan and Coach Chris Kepi with Adaptive Action Sports, and that's
okay. And that's over at Copper, right?
Train with them. Yep, over at Copper.
Right. So kind of almost was it love at first sight, or was it more like you're just a natural at it? It was a transition from surfing and skateboarding. I was going to have trouble. I knew I was going to have trouble surfing again. So it was just a natural transition going from one board to another, and it's almost the same feeling when you get some powder. So I was instantly hooked. Yeah. Great. Well, James, thanks again for making time to talk, and best of luck as the season gets going. We know you got that long gap, but until then, do tour, and we'll be keeping an eye out for you on the mountain at Breckenridge.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Phil. Have a good one.
You too, James. Phil Lindemann, Krystal 93.